Welcome to the Zero Substance Podcast, brought to you guys by Slim Fast Deportes. Little bittersweet moment here because I wanted to come on here and say goodbye. Um, I'm a true competitor, and I wanted to challenge myself and give myself a shot at doing a podcast. And it's just become a little too overwhelming, a little too challenging, and I feel like I'm just not good enough sometimes. And I wanted to thank you guys, and I'm really appreciative of trying it or just giving a shot at it. And a quick little moment of silence. Just kidding. I'm literally going to do the complete opposite and congratulate myself for 6 months as a podcaster. And I'm excited because a lot of times, I'm not going to lie, I almost quit like 47 times already, but I'm 6 months in. That was like, I had to go back and check how long I've been doing this for. And me realizing that it's only been 6 months kind of gave me new energy, new life for to say, because I'm like 6 months in, I'm like, I'm okay. I mean, I'm like a C minus, but I have room for improvement. And that's the big thing here where I'm like, you know what? I want to give Jovi another 6 months at this, make it a whole year at least, and the show must continue. We're not thinking about retirement yet. We're not even at year one. I wanted to say year 20. Obviously, that's the main subject we're gonna touch right now. We're gonna talk about year 20. Lakers. Moment of silence for the Lakers as well now. All right. Goodbye 2022, 2023, Los Angeles Lakers. It was a fun, exciting season overall, I would say, because as far as like a roller coaster standpoint, it doesn't get better than that to me. Or as far as like realistically, we're in sports are a showbiz, like a show business entertainment. They're like an entertainment where nowadays with like the media and just social media, it's become a little bit more like, a soap opera. And and in general, it's just kind of where LeBron for sure is just, ratings king for sure, good or bad. Obviously a lot of people have their disagreements, or I don't want to say hate because it's such a strong word, but just dislike for LeBron, which is fair because everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And the Los Angeles Lakers in general just lost to a bigger team, a better team. I would say bigger because there's some big guys out there, and just a deeper team overall in the Denver Nuggets. Um, Let me start with LeBron and A. Disney, where those are two guys where realistically, as far as duos in the NBA, we're on the decline. What would you say? Maybe top five, if that, scratching that. Just off the top of my head, I'm probably gonna give the nod still to Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. I mean, let me say Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, because obviously Kevin Durant's the second option. Uh, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown's there. Jimmy and Bam are two sleepers as far as where Jimmy and Bam, as far as duos, probably no one had those guys in their top five. But after seeing this playoff run, as far as both sides of the ball, Jimmy and Bam belong there. But I'm going to touch up on those guys in a second. Just in general, LeBron, A. Disney were on the decline, on the way out, as far as just kind of LeBron's a little too old, Anthony Davis is too fragile, all those things. And this playoffs, they showed that they're right there as far as just like, to me, the big issue with the Lakers was 3-point shooting, where Austin Reeves, I can't say enough. Like, he deserves his own segment one day where we're just going to do 20, 30 minutes, all Austin Reeves. Dennis Schroeder, floor spacing, as far as like mixed match and defense with floor spacing, the Lakers struggled with that. Definitely like a 3-and-D guy. They didn't have that. D'Angelo Russell, it's like you got to hold yourself accountable, and you on paper, or you have every reason to be the third best Laker, and you just couldn't get that job done. Not the big disappointment comes from the fact that the Lakers were 7-1 when you scored 15 points, bud. And you didn't do that one time in the championship series. And it's okay. No excuses, whatever. For whatever reasons you struggled. Even then, I would have loved for you to challenge yourself to guard Murray, right away, where Dennis was the only one that realistically got into his chest, tried to fight through the screens. And D'Lo, you have size, you have strength. There's no reason where you shouldn't at least wanted that challenge to the point where you had to get benched, because you were such a mismatch defensively. Let's be honest. I mean, your offensive total bag is there. Let's be honest. You could get to some sweet spots. You could score the basketball, but you gotta beam up. You gotta start defending, dude, and you got exposed defensively. Let's be honest, and that's where the Lakers' depth kind of finally went against them, or was the big, difference maker. And overall, who am I kidding? I wanted the sweep sucks, no doubt. I mean, because I feel like this Lakers team deserved at least to win one or maybe even two. Like, to go out this way, the Grizzlies series, a lot of, excuses from other people where, oh, they don't have a few guys that are injured, this and that. The Grizzlies are a good team still, even like that. And the Lakers beat them, but it was a good matchup. The Grizzlies were there in a lot of games. 6 games to beat them. Good basketball. The Warriors, same thing, where they missed a lot of three-pointers, and that was the big difference, that the Warriors were missing three-pointers all day, left and right, where this Nuggets team was just not going to forgive that. In general, I think Lakers season overall, as far as just because, like I said, the beginning of the year, rough start, 2-10, where it was I was sitting through that, watching that stuff, and it was stressful to say the least, and realistically, zero expectations. Where there came a time where you're like, all right, well, there goes that. I'm probably gonna miss out on 2 years, no LeBron playoffs, and just me able to, from a fan's perspective, being able to get a LeBron's playoff run, whether it's the last time or whether it's the last time him being fairly good or whatever you want to label it. I'm grateful because even then there was a few moments where he showed his, I don't want to say championship DNA, but his greatness DNA, where he was able to direct these guys and kind of just show these guys what it takes to go on like a playoff run. And a lot of these guys, trust me, these younger guys, they went to the school of Harvard for basketball, where you're gonna see it now, where you see it in KCP. KCP, to be honest, that guy is, you could tell his leadership, what he brings to the Nuggets is special, and it's just kind of more like, I don't want to take full credit. We'll give LeBron like 23% credit on what he's done for KCP and his DNA as a basketball player. And I don't want to take away nothing from the Nuggets. I know I've been making this all about the Lakers, so I'm gonna give the Nuggets their love, because obviously me and Coach Malone, we go way back, and he's my guy. And I love that he was able to come at the media, or in a way just challenge the media to change the narrative, or to show love to these other teams, where in general, like I said, today's day, we care about hate, or just like negativity sells. And we weren't talking about the Nugget as much, where we just made it about LeBron getting swept, and there I go being LeBron and changing the narrative. But Mike Malone was an all right about making the focus about the Nuggets and making sure that his team get the love he deserves. And I'm all for that. I had nothing against that. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, they're on the rise I could honestly say that's the best pick and roll in basketball right now, today, where Jamal Murray's ability to make that three kind of gets him there. Because obviously it's Steph and Draymond is the only competition for them, as far as just pick and roll, can do everything, as far as you can just, as far as one, let me slow down. Let me relax. As far as one pick and roll that you can get so many options from, I'm going to go Jamal Murray and Jokic now, and then Steph and Draymond. Where Draymond could kick out, can pass after he gets dumped down too. After say you double team Steph Curry, Draymond could kick out, can get to the rim sometimes. A little underrated where when he gets to the rim, he could dive and he's somewhat athletic. Let's be honest, he's somewhat athletic. Where he could kick out though, and that's the thing here with Jokic though. Jokic could do all of that. Jokic is uh this is almost disrespectful, but I think Jokic's number one attribute is his passing. Where this guy sees the play 7 minutes before it actually happens, can use both hands, passing angles through this world, behind the back, scoop passes, craftiness, just out of this world, or European to say. Oh, and uh, I don't know where Serbia's at. I think it's European, right? That's why that was my reaction. Zero substance. That's what it is here. I'm talking from right here. Um, as far as Nikola Jokic though, he's slowly but surely just cementing himself as one of the best big men to ever play this game. And going back to like what he can do in the pick and roll, I not only just that pick and roll, there was one set where this is the one that was the one that just ended it for me as far as he came off pretty much like a curl, a baseline curl into two screens like he's Klay Thompson, like two screens. So Anthony Davis is running and he has to go through two screens. And obviously it's a switch league where the smartest thing to do is switch that, right? You're going through two picks. There's no way one man can go through two picks and stick on their guy. And what is Jokic? Jokic is all of 7 foot, 250. I probably don't even know that. It's probably not accurate, but this is something you would run for like a Klay Thompson, a Paul George, someone else but Joker. And these guys are running a double screen for their big. And it's just kind of like where it's out of this world. So I could just, cause Shaq is the most dominant man ever. Shaq just wants to go establish himself, get dumped down into, and back someone up, little dunk over the top of him or like a little baby hook, and that's it. Call it a day. We got Joker bringing up the ball, running pick and rolls. I've seen Joker operate the pick and roll as the point guard, as the ball handler, which is just, I can't wrap my mind around it sometimes. Where it's just like, this dude is a point guard skills, and this is the big difference about Joker and a lot of these other guys though, where he will punish you in the paint. Like, you got a mismatch, forget about it. Good night, baby hook over the top. And it's just kind of too his worth ethic, where this dude never stops running. He's running all over the place, just never stops. Consistently moving, a lot of offensive rebounds. He outworked Anthony Davis a lot in this series, where the Nuggets would miss shots and there was just Jokic right there to clean them up, always in good spaces, good places. And you can't take that away from this guy. I'm telling you, this is someone that slowly but surely is coming onto the scene, and we're grateful. I'm a little uncomfortable because I feel like I have gave Joker a better segment than the Lakers, but that's the type of person that I am. I'm not a sore loser, and Joker is just special. Let's just cut it easy. Well deserving. The MVPs, got political or whatever, but this guy can do everything, and I would label his passing his best attribute. So let's give Jamal Murray a little bit of love as well, where pick and roll, he's able to hit in the mid-range, get to the bucket. 3-level scorer. Jamal Murray's a 3-level scorer, and great footwork, great jumper at the three-point line. That's what kind of where, in all honesty, he was creating more space than Steph. He looked a little more like there was a little better hop to his step. And that's fair to say, because Steph, to be honest, let's be fair, he's getting a little older, where, he's still the best shooter ever to grace a basketball court. But as far as like separation, I'm not even being dramatic. I think Jamal Murray creates a little more separation than Steph right now today. or in this playoff run. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it again. Jamal Murray creates a little more separation than Steph Curry. 10 toes down. I believe that. And Michael Porter Jr., as far as like the Nuggets, the crazy thing with the Nuggets is realistically, I don't know who their three is. Where on one night it could be Michael Porter Jr., on one night it could be Gorder. Oh no, Aaron Gordon, and it could be Bruce Brown, like out of nowhere. Bruce Brown's the third best player on the Nuggets sometimes, and it's just kind of like where that could be Contavious Caldwell Pope as well. KCP has been the third best player on a championship team. No offense, Kuzma, but KCP stepped up, and to me, that's where it's like this Nuggets team is not only in for a special run this year, but going forward. You're the Nuggets, you're a Denver Nuggets fan. You got to be feeling great, to say the least. And I think they're going to match up well. Let's move on real quick to this new series where you thought we were guaranteed a Miami Heat, Denver Nuggets, NBA Finals, and now it's, a little bit up for debate or a little questionable. And my whole big take with this series between the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets is that, sorry guys, it's a long journey, all right, but the Denver Nuggets, all right, the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, all right, sorry, it took me a whole minute to get that, but the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. This series has been weird because I feel like whichever team has the pressure has lost. So first two games down in Boston, pressure's on Boston, right? They lose both games. And game 3, pressure's on Boston again. I mean, let's be honest, Miami took care of business and the pressure was on Boston. What did Boston do? They lost game 3. Game 4, at this point, Boston has no pressure because now you're pretty much dead in the water. And now the pressure turned to Miami, where now Miami, you have to close this team out. You already shown that you can beat them, but now you just got to close them out. You got to win one key game. And now guess what? The pressure's on you, and you lost 2 games in a row. So pressure has been bad for this series, if you ask me. So with that being said, pressure is on Miami again this game. And weirdly enough, I feel better about Miami in a game 7 than this game 6 tonight. And it's probably going to go horribly wrong. And hopefully I could get this up today so you guys could expose me for it. But I feel better about the Miami Heat in game 7 over this game 6 tonight. Where game 6 is just going to be where realistically they have to come out and let it on them early. Where if the Miami Heat don't make them quit early, the longer this game stays close, the more I like Boston. And that's an easy take to make, right? But in general, too, overall, I feel like the role players, like Jimmy, Bam, Tatum, and Brown, they're going to cancel each other out. Where the role players are going to be the key guys, where a Derek White versus like a Max Strus, or like a Duncan Robinson. Marcus Smart, you always get something out of him. I wouldn't even label him a role player. He's a key piece. We're like a Al Horford, Robert Williams. Those guys, it's going to be those other guys who could play more free from those guys, and just who's going to be plus on the box score as far as bench guys. And that's the key of this series going forward. Where honestly, the only thing that can break that is just a superstar performance. And when I say superstar, I'm saying 40 points. Maybe 35. 35 to 40 points, that's going to break whatever teamwork, team situation we're looking for. If one of these guys drop 40, forget about it. That team will win. So we're talking obviously about Jimmy, Tatum, or Brown. Those are the 3 guys that could drop a 40 piece. And if they do that, and if Jimmy does that, to me, Jimmy is certified 3-level scorer, certified playoff Jimmy, and just overall certified just first team, all toughness, grit, and just two-way players. He's already the best two-way player in basketball. No offense, Kawhi. I'm sorry, bud, but it's Jimmy. And it's just like it's fun to see Jimmy because you look at like I mean you have your battles. He's a little bit I mean he drinks Michelob. That's a little skeptical, sketchy. But other than that, dude, you gotta respect Jimmy. You gotta have love for him. So I really don't. I really hope that this whole comeback thing, because it's such a, I got like anxiety just talking about this. My stomach feels a little weird. And if the Miami Heat lose this 3-game lead, honestly, Jimmy will take this horribly. Where Jimmy, I don't think, like, we will have to go check on Jimmy. Jimmy won't sleep for like about a week and a half if this happens. So hopefully Miami Heat close out. But I feel good. If Miami Heat loses tonight, I weirdly feel good about game 7. It's just, that's a me thing. And I'm probably going to be completely wrong. And I'm okay with that. But Game 7 in Boston is going to be scary to just think about, but like the big thing for me is just whoever's had the pressure in this series has lost. And that's just been the big thing where these guys for some reason that looseness of no pressure has just benefited the winning team, where as soon as there's a little bit of pressure, there's a little worry, these teams have folded. And that's why I'm worried about them meeting the Nuggets. But where if Boston pulls this out, forget about it, Nuggets. I think Boston wins it because there's just too much momentum, and they have the two guys that could throw at Jokic, and they have the guys they could throw at Murray, and where Boston has a better chance than against the Nuggets than Miami. So I think the Nuggets are hoping that the Miami Heat loses for sure. If I'm Mike Malone, Jokic, Murray, Bruce Brown, all those guys, Jeff Green, Uncle Jeff, former Celtic, I'm hoping the Miami Heat close out this series tonight, to be honest. But that's just me. And time to move on. A little bit of soccer for you guys. Manchester City won the Premier League, and they're on course for a treble. Guardiola, challenge yourself, dude. I guess you're having fun, right? Because you're just beating everyone at the expense of your super team. Congratulations. But in all seriousness, great, well-oiled machine. Now Manchester City. Let's be honest. Let's have a healthy conversation here. Guardiola is a citizen. Guardiola's legacy is Manchester City now at this point. Where as a coach, yeah, the player is Barca, but Guardiola, his legacy, I'm gonna say it again, Guardiola's legacy is Manchester City now. It's official. It's written in stone. John Stones. Let's get to a healthy debate here. Barcelona 2011 versus Manchester City 22-23. Obviously easy take to make. Barcelona has Messi. Yeah, I agree. That's cool. But that team depends more on their superstars than Manchester City does. Where Manchester City is just deeper, A through Z, without a doubt. And it's more advanced Guardiola. So you have that. I mean, obviously it's always it's literally impossible. It's a La La Land, last little Laker reference, but it's La La Land to compare old teams to, new teams. But I think it's a fair comparison, or it's a fair debate to make if if Manchester City pulls this through and wins this treble, if people make the case that this is Guardiola's best team ever, I think it's fair because Barcelona relied on, obviously you got Messi. I honestly think I got Barcelona in one single game. But over the course of a season, if you give any coach this roster in the summer, I think you do better with this Manchester City team, where this Manchester City team just kind of destroyed the dynasty in Real Madrid, where I think it was a little bit better than the Real Madrid team that Barcelona team faced in 2011. Who are we kidding? And even the tougher road to the Champions League final, where Barcelona's games were a little close. They played Arsenal, Shakhtar, and Real Madrid to get through it, and Barcelona didn't stampede Real Madrid like this Manchester City team did in the semifinals. But I mean, it's a fun conversation to have, obviously, and you can't really go anywhere with it. But Guardiola, big take here is Guardiola is on course to be the most winning coach ever, and has a successful win rate. And he doesn't really challenge himself, but for sure, this Manchester City team is a dynasty now. As much as it hurts to say it, I mean, officially now they're a dynasty after this championship. And good for them. Good for them, right? Makes me so uncomfortable talking to them. Let me give Arsenal a quick little shout out. Super young team, overachieved. I feel like if they get a few more they need like another guy in the midfield. They need a little more depth where they didn't survive the whole season of where this is my big take here too, where Liverpool, Arsenal, they have to rely on 8 guys day in, day out, where Manchester City doesn't. Let's be honest. Um, I honestly think Juju is better than Haaland. I It's fine. I'm saying that. It's okay. You could bash me. I think Julian Alvarez is better than Haaland. As far as just like on the ball, touching, and his finishing is super composed. I mean, it's underrated. Haaland is a machine. Don't get me wrong. He's gonna put that ball in the goal. But something about Juju is just this dude's the real deal. And that's where it's just like where Manchester City really never really can survive any type of injury to anyone. Maybe just goalie would be like the biggest risk that City runs, where if their goalie got injured. But other than that, it's just there's no holes even on the bench. And with Arsenal, they have to run the same guys. Where there's no, if you lose Saka, one guy in the front three, one guy in the midfield, or one center back, that's it. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose or tie one out of the next 5 games, guaranteed. Where City is not gonna feel that. But overall, in general, your Arsenal, this is like the beginning of like a 5-year run of just straight competition where you're gonna compete with anyone, you're gonna challenge anyone, and the future's now for you, Arsenal. Moving on to Man U. A little like like in the middle, just kind of like where they need a center back. Another no knock on Lisandro Martinez, great player, but Manchester United need another elite center back. Where Varane, in all fairness, you shouldn't be able to. I think it's a lot to ask for Varane to be like day in day out top 5, even top 10 center back in the world nowadays. He could do it. He's done it, but it's just unfair, or like a little bit unrealistic, to be honest. So I see Manchester United needing another center back and superstar center back. And they're almost there though. The culture's changing. Ten Hag's been really good for this team where he has something and he's not just buying the best talent available. He wants to fill his system. He wants to get guys on board with what he wants to do. And that's a good thing to see for Manchester United. Again, makes me sick just talking about it. Newcastle United. Um, these guys are here to stay. There's a whole thing in England where there's a top 6, and Newcastle has, I think, established themselves as they're gonna be there year in, year out going forward. Another well-ran, oiled machine, Newcastle United. And I believe that it's gonna be hard to get these guys out of the top 6 going forward. You feel bad because Tottenham is just kind of like, I don't know what to expect from Tottenham anymore. Where realistically, it's just like where do you go from here? Where like these two this is gonna be a great transition because you feel sorry for Tottenham. Chelsea's done. Look at just like all the money Chelsea's spent and like where they're at right now. And Tottenham is like you can do all that, but it's just like I don't know. Can you catch these guys now? Like your core got old, and you're probably gonna have to sell Harry and Son and just start all over. Just go young. If you're Tottenham, don't just buy expensive talent. Where a lot of teams make the mistake where like, dude, you just want to get your hands on someone expensive, and that's okay, but just don't do it, Tottenham. Just take your time with this. You gotta wait it out. Realistically, in the next 3 years, I don't see Tottenham. Um, I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't see Tottenham competing in like the next 2-3 years. So develop guys that are going to compete for you in like year 4, year 5, year 6. Take your time, be mediocre for a little bit, but you cannot rush this process, Tottenham, because it's just it's a weird place that where you guys are in. And transitioning onto the boys, I feel good about this because we're going to Europa League, right? And it's fair because I mean they they were very inconsistent this year. They had really bad moments, and deservingly they punched the ticket to the Europa League. Where at sometimes that was in even that was in question, and I'm happy that at least they got that. Where this is a team that even for the Champions League itself, the Champions League lost because they lost the best atmosphere in the Champions League, or arguably top three. Well, let's not go there. That's a healthy subject for another healthy debate another time. Where Liverpool is in the Europa League now, and I'm gonna make a case here right now. I'm gonna 10 toes down. Europa League might be more competitive than the Champions League. One more time, the Europa League is more competitive than the Champions League. Like, who am I kidding? Um, the Champions League, realistically, there's like 5 teams that can win it every year. Like, going into next year, I guarantee you, City's the favorite, Real Madrid's up there, Bayern Munich, and that's it. Maybe Barca. Um, maybe I don't see Man U being a favorite. I don't see Arsenal being a favorite. I mean, they have a chance, but as far as where, like, if you're gonna compare it to the Europa, you got fives. You easily got 5 to 10 teams that could win it. So yeah, the Europa League is more competitive than the Champions League. Yeah, I said that. Overall though, those 2 tournaments are the best tournaments, and I'm excited to see how far, or to see what the boys do in the Europa League, where I feel like obviously it's championship or bust, and it should be that way. And I'm excited for that because that's gonna be, I know, I know the pressure that it's gonna take. I know the bashing that's gonna happen if they don't. But I'm 10 toes down. Liverpool, 2024 Europa League champions. Like, that's it. Like, there's no other standard. There's no other. I don't see any other world where Liverpool, um, it's championship or bust. Like, this is uncomfortable because I mean I'm humbled. I'm a new man. I got humbled into being a new man today, and I'm embracing it though. And boys have to lift that Europa League for sure. Um, but with the Champions League being said, I really hope it's like there's these Guardiolas for Florentino, whatever his name is, the devil, that guy. Dude, you're making stuff a little too top heavy, man. Where challenge yourselves, guys, compete. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. Like, you don't miss some good old competition. Like, where it's fun, where a team can beat you on a daily basis. It's healthier. You can't always have the advantage. Obviously, I'm in sore loser mode now, so it's just like, let me just get over it. And I'm excited, and hopefully that I'm gonna try to go live for the Champions League final, and just kind of try to give like my input as we watch it. Even though I'm gonna be sick to me stomach watching it, I'm excited about it. Europa League final. Let me finish with this real quick. If Mourinho wins the Europa League, and relax, Barca Pep guys, relax. To me personally, if Mourinho wins the Europa League, it was harder than Pep winning the Champions League this year. It was more challenging. Like, that's just to me though, personal, unbiased opinion. If Mourinho wins the Europa League with Roma, who was maybe 8th or 10th betting favorite to win the Europa League, it's a bigger accomplishment than Pep Guardiola winning the Champions League, who was the clear favorite since day one. That's just to me though, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Hopefully, good luck to everyone though. Good luck to City. Good luck to Inter. Good luck to Roma, and good luck to Sevilla. Even though they probably don't need it, dude. They've been there 6 times, won 6 times, so they're looking on 7 for 7. That's unrealistic, and honestly, over the years, I've come to love Sevilla, where there's a team where they're like their house scares me. That is one field. where I'm gonna have to look up what the name of the house is called, because I didn't prepare. I didn't do my notes. Everyone knows this already, right? And in general, though, Sevilla at home, Europa League is starting to become up there with the big boys as far as Liverpool at Anfield, and I think they should pass that. But obviously, the big boy is Madrid at the Bernabeu, and Sevilla's on course where that Europa League is. All right, we'll see you guys in the final then, Sevilla. Sevilla versus Liverpool Europa League final. Let's get it. I can't wait. Um, and that's gonna conclude. Well, we're not even gonna label this a podcast. We're gonna just kind of label it a segment, and that's gonna conclude today's segment. And go follow at SlimFast Deportes, because we just keep moving and keep moving. We keep serving and serving and serving again. But in general, again, real quick, 6-month Jovi, and I got work to do. I could get better. I understand that, and I'm just excited overall about this whole thing going forward. I'll see you guys on working on the weekends on Sundays, and Deportes on Monday. I can't wait, because that's gonna be actually us talking about the Lakers. That's gonna be the first time I talk about the Lakers game in front of the guys, and they think I've been ducking smoke. Like, I show up. That's the thing about me. I'm gonna show up, win or lose. I'm showing up. You're gonna get me. I'm not gonna hide from a loss. Like, I know what comes with this sports stuff, and sometimes you win, sometimes you laugh. Oh, hold on, let me slow down. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry, but I guess you know now. It's the same thing. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but I guess you know now. And with that, I'm gone for today. Sergio's birthday, and let's get it. Let's get it, man. Slim Fast, we ain't stopping anytime soon. Out. Up the Reds.